All right. Make sure my audio is good this time because last time it was not. Cool, cool. All right, what's up, everybody? Stoked to be here today. Just going to be talking a little bit about California Proposition 64, which is California's recreational marijuana amendment that they just passed. Let me make sure this stream is working right. Um,
Yep, everything's coming in clear.
cool, cool.
Hi, everybody. By the way, the disembodied voice is my name is Zane Miller. I'm helping Justin out with all of his YouTube stuff. So you'll be hearing a lot more from me while I help out and stuff.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, yeah. Are comments working also or no?
Well, you know what? We were just talking about it. It still says chat is disabled for this live stream. Why is that? I've never ran into that situation.
Weird.
I'll keep poking around and seeing what we can fix.
Cool.
We've got 17 people watching live now. Hello, everybody.
Sweet. All right. Well, yeah. In the meantime, I'm going to load up a bowl really quick, and we will go from there and be smoking on some. Let's see what we got here today. Some Recon. So this is LA Confidential crossed with Canadential, which is LA Confidential and Cantaloupe Haze. So Recon's one of my favorites. Nice short bushy plant, puts out just some fatty colas. Really dig it. So yeah, cool. All right. And yeah, sorry if the comments aren't working. I don't know.
No, actually, while you were loading that up, I went and dug around and just kicked on live chat. So folks, you should be good to go on your questions. So feel free to fire them in.
Sweet, sweet. Let's see here. I should be able to see some of these comments in here. Let's see here. I just want to be able to even see the comments. I don't know. Maybe I should just hit this and it'll get better.
Yeah, I'll keep poking around. Might take a second to really move.
All right. So basically, like I said, we're going to be talking about Proposition 64, which I've got my notes on my other screen, so bouncing back and forth. But basically what that new amendment allows everybody to do in California is it allows patients 21 and over, or not patients, adults, 21 and over to possess, transport, purchase, consume, and share up to 1 ounce of marijuana and 8 grams of concentrates or waxes. So, or bubble hash or whatever it may be. So that's pretty cool. Similar to the Colorado one out here, we are allowed to have what's it called? An ounce, basically, and can kind of transport it. You're not allowed to sell it, same kind of thing. And from what I've read, I guess everybody can legally grow up to 6 plants in California per household is what it looked like. Now, they do have kind of a weird, they have a tax, and it was like $9. Let's see, where was that at? Boom. Here we go. It looked like they had, where's that tax at? Okay, so it was like $9.25 per ounce of flowers and $2.75 per ounce of leaves, which that kind of makes no sense. I'm not sure why they're taxing leaves because it's a good chunk of the plant, and that seems like it's going to get a pretty high as far as taxing goes, but I guess that's just for the commercial growers. Obviously you're not going to have that if you are a regular grower or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. So that was kind of weird there. But I think I found actual chat, but let's see.
Yeah, the chat seems to be working. Shout out to all the people here. MRG19, hello. T-Ship, Matthew Perez, John Mendoza. Hi, everybody. Thanks for all the questions and comments.
Where are you seeing? Oh.
I'm on the watch page on the right.
Maybe. Okay. Well,
we've already got a question from Urban Farmer.
Got it. Found it. Sweet. Got it. All right. Cool. Finally. So the new laws that go into effect, I think it was like January of 2018 is actually, let me just double check that. Um, like it's going live. Yeah, I think it was like January of 2018, but people can already start growing or something along those lines. Um, let me double check that here.
As we go, I'll just drop questions in the chat and we can address them as they come.
Cool. Yeah. So the six plants, as far as, and like, keep in mind, guys, I am not an attorney. Where I'm just kind of sitting here shooting the shit, smoking a bowl with you, and running through what I'm reading and just kind of dropping what I think on it. Kind of comparing it to what our laws here in Colorado are. I'm pretty familiar with the laws here in Colorado, just because we do have an attorney specifically for here. But I'm just kind of shooting the shit here. But
yeah, it seems to me from what I've seen of watching the news and stuff, it's like there's still things that need to be worked out between now and when it's time to like go and buy from like recreational places.
right.
Like I don't know, within the next 30 days, you can start growing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that's what I was reading. I had a page open and I can't quite find it here anymore. So sorry about that. I shouldn't have got high before this too. But basically, to sell it for recreational use, you're going to need a business license. So it's not like everybody can just go out, grow it, and start selling it legally. It's how it is here as well. You have to have a dispensary license, all that good stuff. But basically, you have to have a business license out there. Local governments require you to obtain the license. You can't sell it within 600 feet of a school or a daycare or anything like that. I think here in Colorado, it's within 1,000 feet. So, you're getting a little close to kids there. But, and it's blah, blah, blah. It basically prevents licenses for large scale businesses for 5 years so that people don't get monopolies, which is kind of cool, I guess. Like, don't want those giant companies moving in because those guys kind of suck. Right, like Philip Morris or anything like that. Let's see here. Where was that? I want to know exactly when it was supposed to go in, when it goes legal here, but where was it? I read it somewhere. But anyway, but yeah, anybody else, out here from California know a little bit more, want to drop a little bit of knowledge on this for us? Let's see here, trying to find my chat page again.
Maybe Matthew Perez here. It says he asks a question. Any Cali growers? Makes me think he might know a couple of things he might be growing. He says Cali is the 6th largest economy in the U.S. Nice.
Right.
Urban Farmer says licenses will be available in 2018. Some vertical integration will be allowed. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I think it's goes into effect for everybody a lot sooner than that, just not for the recreational sales. It's what it's kind of looking like. Boom. Here we go. So yeah, basically normal saying adults can possess up to an ounce or, and cultivate 6 plants. I believe the 6 plants, I mean, here in Colorado, like depending recreational or medical, like we're allowed to have half of those plants in flower. So you can have like 6 plants here, but only 3 of them can be mature or in flowering. And I think they regulate that based on the height or something like that. So clones are not flowering plants, things like that. But yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see here. Yeah, they're rewriting the criminal penalties as far as felonies and misdemeanors and all that. So that's pretty cool. Seems like a pretty long law though. But yeah, I mean, essentially you're allowed to grow your 6 plants is what it looks like. Possess up to an ounce. I'm not 100% sure what they, let's see. Okay, so it's saying here all plants that have been harvested in excess of 1 ounce have to be kept at the private residence on its grounds in a locked space and not visible in a public place. So from that, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to have whatever you want. Like I know here in Colorado, we're allowed to. So recreational and medical are different, but we're allowed to have as much. Basically everything we harvest off of our recreational plants we can keep, so there's no weight limit essentially, as long as we keep them in a locked space. And that's what it's kind of looking like here with the California thing as well, which is, pretty cool. So, I mean, that was something that was huge, because when I first started growing here, we were only allowed, what was it, like sorry, I mean, I was allowed 6 ounces at the time, but basically we were only allowed like 2 ounces per 6 plants medically, which was kind of a pain in the ass, because like if you're only harvesting 2 ounces off of your medical plants, then you kind of suck, or out for your 6 plants. I mean, then you kind of suck at growing. And, you should probably try and get a little bit more out of those, unless they're like really tiny plants. But like 6 plants, you could pull a lot more than 2 ounces. So it was kind of weird. Yeah. Hey, what's
All
up,
right, so
new kids? Gymnasium.
we got a preference question for you, and it sounds like there's a lot of other people adding in. But sorry if I butcher your name, Ian, not quite sure, but he's asking, what's your favorite sort of weed?
I like indicas the most, just because, like I was talking about on the last live stream we did, I've got scoliosis, or whatever. I had scoliosis surgery, so my spine's all fused together. So I got like 2 metal rods from like here to here. They go my entire length of my back. So I originally started growing medically for that, and I would grow indicas just because they help with like muscle spasms, cramps, pain, things like that. And that's why I prefer indicas. So one of my favorites I would say is King's Kush. It's OG Kush crossed with Grape Ape. It's like 80% indica. It's from Greenhouse Seeds. And another reason I really like that one is because we like cracked open 50 seeds to get that one particular phenotype. Flowered them out multiple times. So that's kind of why I really like that one. That one's definitely my favorite, or one of my favorites. And then I also like Headband a lot. I've been really digging Headband. I usually don't smoke a lot of shit from dispensaries, so I usually just smoke what I grow and what my friends grow, just because I know that we're not spraying our shit with like pesticides. Like I don't spray any of my stuff.
That's an interesting point. Well, no, I was just going to say that was an interesting point. When I watched the broadcast before, I didn't know dispensaries used a lot of like pesticides and stuff. Like, is there a way to learn more about that, especially for the newer recreational users?
Like pesticides or
whatever?
Yeah,
to find out like which places use which growing methods, I guess.
Oh yeah, so like here in Colorado, I'm not sure what they're going to do over here in California, or some of the other states. I do know that like here they have to label, so like all your dispensary containers and shit come with a label saying, hey, here's what here's what was used in this. Like we use these fertilizers,
kind of like when
pesticide was sprayed.
Like when you go to the grocery store and you see all the ingredients and stuff, like they like an FDA thing.
For sure. Yeah, so basically there's like an ingredients list, but a lot of those pesticides that they use, they're like food grade pesticides, right? So you can wash them off, so that they just go on the outside of the plant or something like that. People can wash them off. Well, it's not the same with cannabis. Like that stuff's on your bud. You can't really wash it off. I mean, you can, but I don't know. And a lot of the things that people use are systemic as well, and they become part of the plant. Like some of those chemicals, like Eagle 20, is something that I would never, ever, ever recommend anybody use. But it's systemic. So you basically feed it to your plant. It's designed for controlling powdery mildew, but it becomes part of the plant. And that's kind of why I just smoke what I grow, because I know that I don't spray anything on there. We keep a really clean garden, and that's part of the reason we don't get bugs, because I don't let random people in. If I go to the grow store, I change my shoes or whatever, change my clothes, make sure to wash my hands after touching anything, just because there are other people with gardens that go to the grow store that could be tracking eggs or pests, diseases, mold, anything in. So
yeah, dude, that's a huge health reason, right? I mean, especially with more and more states legalizing it and everything, this is going to be a bigger and bigger deal. Just like people, we don't know what it'll be later, but there's going to be some kind of equivalent to like trans fat and shit like that. Like, oh, you definitely don't want to be smoking this. Like new results or new studies show these things. Now it's more in the mainstream,
Right. Yeah, and so that's like no good. I don't know what they do in California already as far as medical goes. Maybe it is on the banned list in California. I don't think it is here because I know is that use it. So yeah,
All right.
but yeah, let's see. So I mean, in kind of looping back, or let's see. It's,
Well,
seedsherenow.com is cool.
Yeah. Malik's asking, how much weight do you think you can pull max with a 6 plant count, like perpetually, like an area and fees were not limited by cash? You could choose your own strain.
Yeah, so it's a good question. Yeah. So basically, a lot of people always ask, how much can I yield per plant? When that's not the right question to be asking. Like, yeah, you can have 6 plants, but you could also veg those plants for 2-3 months, get them really, really big, and then they're going to produce a lot more. But it's based on your size of your grow room and what lights you have in there. So provided you have enough space, you can throw up 1,000-watt light or something like that. So we run double-ended thousands in our garden. I've ran 600s before, with our 600-watt high-pressure sodium bulbs. With those, you can probably pull anywhere from a 600-watt. We're pulling about a pound per light off of those 600-watt lights. 1,000-watt lights, you should be, the regular ones, you'll probably pull about. The double-endeds, we're pulling a little over 2.5 pounds per light. So those double-endeds are kick-ass. But basically, each plant can yield anywhere from an ounce to I've had 8-ounce plants in my hydro setups. They were about that big, just tons of colas. So it kind of depends, really. But I mean, 6 plants you could reasonably yield. Probably a couple pounds. At least,
nice.
If you veg them big, but I mean, you could also yield less. So,
okay. Hey, so a lady named Betty Crocker just showed up. I thought that was pretty cool. She's lighting up, just saying she's enjoying the show, right?
Nice.
And Matthew Perez said, "I'll quit my job as a sheriff trainee to come grow with you. Just say the word."
Nice, for sure. No, I mean, if we had
sorry. Seedsnow.com.
Seedsherenow.com.
Yeah, seedsherenow.com. Okay. That people were asking about seeds. Is that where you like to go, Justin? Okay.
Yeah, they're actually one of our sponsors as well. But yeah, so we get seeds from them. And a lot of my friends actually sell seeds on there. Like I know a few of the breeders personally, like Adam Dunn from TH Seeds. He's here in Colorado. He actually has a pretty cool podcast that everybody should check out if they like this kind of just like back and forth stuff. It's the Adam Dunn Show, so that's actually pretty cool. So,
well, we're getting a lot of activity here. How much longer do you want to go?
I don't know, a little bit longer. I still got half this bowl left.
Sweet.
I just got to go to the dentist after this anyway. So.
Smoking before the dentist. Do you ever have that, like, on the form it says, like, do you smoke? Do you ever pause for a second? Like, wait, what kind of smoking are you referring to?
They're talking about cigarettes. So yeah, like I'm just looking at this law a little bit more. Like consumption in California, it looks like you can't do it in public, but you can smoke in dispensaries, it looks like, if it's authorized by local governments, and you can get $100 fine if you're caught smoking in public. I know you're not allowed to smoke in public here in Colorado either. People do it all the time, but you're not supposed to.
Yeah, I just do you remember that time when I was when me and my nephew came and hung out with you, and we went to that bar, and we snuck out to the alley, and some dude rolled up and just scared the piss out of us. We all thought we were going to go to jail because he's like, you can't do this. We just called the cops. Oh my God, I was so scared. They were just fucking with us.
Right. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, it looks like you also can't consume. Right. No, you can't consume within 1,000 feet of a school or youth center while there's children there, unless you live across there. So that's cool. And it smells smoking and vaporizers restricted. It says smoking cannabis is prohibited except in tobacco smoking areas. Yes, it does seem like they're going to do the coffee shop kind of thing for sure. But yeah, it looks like people can, you could, yeah, smoking vapes and e-cigs too are considered smoking. Um, yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, what's up?
Real quick, MGR 19. Yes, you will be able to buy seeds from dispensaries to grow your own plants.
Yeah,
Or am
yeah,
I off
you
on that?
should be able
Yeah.
to. I think you
Okay.
can. I mean, I think you can already do that. I know you can here, but but yeah, looks like as far as use in vehicles, consumption is not allowed. Is what it's looking like. Same kind of thing here. Violations $100 fine, and it's saying they don't know exactly what an open container is. It's probably like a dirty pipe. I know here in Colorado, like if you have a pipe and they're like, oh, you've been smoking out of it, you can get in trouble. So I just keep it like out of reach kind of thing. It's, like you don't want to have a 6-pack with an open bottle sitting next to you either.
Right.
So,
I got your back, Betty. If you get locked up, I'll come bail you out.
yep, looks like you can drive with it, is what it's saying. As long as as long as you're over 21, it's lawful for you to transport an ounce of marijuana for personal use. Um, yeah, and I guess previously it's $100 infraction to drive with marijuana, so it's not like it was too bad to do that anyway before this, but that's cool.
So you can like, I don't know, go and buy it and then like put it in your trunk. Like, like you're not
Yeah,
anywhere close to it, and cop can get as suspicious as he wants, but it's far away from you and it's fine to transport.
yeah, that's what Urban Farmer was just saying for sure. Yeah, and I mean that's just best practice. Like even here, that's what you're supposed to have it like out of reach. Don't have a pipe sitting where you can reach it because they'll be like, "Oh, you've been smoking." I mean, nobody wants to get a DUI for that. So like don't like hotbox your car and then go drive around, I guess.
Why not? It's so much fun.
Right. Cool. Cool. Yeah. It looks like they have a Bureau of Medical Marijuana regulation already out there. And those are the people that are going to history. So it seems pretty similar to kind of what we have here in Colorado. Um, yeah. And
All right.
they're basically saying no type 5 licenses, which are like giant cultivators. So this is kind of on the dispensary law side of things or whatever, but they're saying they're going to be issuing type 5 large cultivation licenses for people over a ½ acre indoors or 1 acre outdoors. No limits set on the size of those gardens, but they're basically not going to allow any large scale, like ½ acre or 1 acre grows until 2023 for this. So
Wow. So there's a bit of time.
yeah, well, that's like the large scale because a lot of people probably start smaller businesses. It'll be kind of like craft breweries or some of the dispensaries that are already growing will probably. I mean, here at least, what we have is like one counter for recreational, one counter for medical.
Yeah.
But it's the same store and their plants are different. Yeah, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Well,
That's a pretty big. I wish I had an acre.
we got one from K2LED 710 asking, can a landlord still give you shit though? Like say if you're like an apartment building? I
Oh,
would
I'm
think so.
sure.
I mean, yeah.
Like you got to have at least here. Like a lot of landlords out here will be like no or no growing. Like when I got my office set up, which is like my garden. When we got that all set up back in the day, it was before recreational was allowed. So I was just medical garden. I called a lot, and this was like I don't know. I've had the same spot maybe like 6 years or something like that. But when I first got set up, we basically I was looking for a spot, and I just kept calling, and like all these landlords I was talking to would be like, click, like no way. Cause I asked them, I was like, hey, look, I'm going to have a small grow in here. It's going to be like 12 plants, completely legal. It's fine. Like it's just a medical garden. Is that okay? And a lot of people were like, no way. So yeah, I'm sure like your landlord, like you should make sure it's cool with your landlord before you grow. Cause I mean, you don't want to get evicted. I'm sure there's like let's see here. Let's see, saying a bit about cultivation. I'm trying to see if there's anything in here because I know a lot of times like they'll say, hey, you can um, whatever. So session, or like you could still, even though it's legal recreationally here, you can still fail a drug test for specific jobs and like lose your job. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, so I mean that's something that is
Yeah, we're just talking about like law, but like policy for apartments, for work, for anything, like law and policy are two very different things, right? So it's very
right,
situational, right?
right. So
We have a more growing question, if that's cool, from Michelle. She's asking, is anyone else harvesting outdoors this late in the season, or is it just her?
I know not here in Colorado since it's snowing right now. I think if anybody had anything left out there, it's in by now. But actually, people were probably harvesting their stuff pretty recently here, actually, because it's been really warm. It was like 70 some degrees yesterday or something like that.
Yeah, same here.
So yeah, it was a good late season, is what Urban Farmer was saying for sure.
And also, Samuel, we'll make sure and post links in the descriptions and stuff of everything that we've mentioned so far. That way you can follow up and take any due diligence that you might have. And while Justin's taking a hit there, why don't you show off that cool little lighter?
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah,
I love this thing. It's a fire extinguisher.
fire extinguisher lighter. Pretty cool.
That reminds
We're
me.
actually going to start selling these in our store pretty quick here. We just got to get them up there.
That reminds me real quick.
Tests.
Someone was also asking about T-shirts. Like, are you going to be offering anything?
Yeah, there's actually
School of Hard
shirts
Nugs
for
t-shirts.
sale already at shop.schoolofhardnugs.com. We actually, we're updating our whole website. We're going to start like a blog, start posting articles, posting our videos on there. So we're going to be sharing a lot more, more in-depth guides, things that we might not be able to do all on video, things like that. So we're going to start doing that sometime soon. It was like just yesterday or last night when I turned over everything we needed to get our new website like up and running pretty quickly here. So yeah.
Very nice. We had one other here that jumped out at me. Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. We may not be able to cover it today, but we do have interest from Jared Pye asking if you could cover any of the Florida medical laws. That may be
yeah, for sure. This one, we were just kind of jumping on today about the California one, and I got to roll out in a little bit here, but they're pretty quickly here. But yeah, we'll do another one about Florida. We'll do another one about, I want to do one so we just did California. Want to do one for Nevada, Massachusetts, Maine, and then Florida's got the medical, Arkansas medical, North Dakota, and Montana. And I think those are all of them. I got to double check, but yeah, definitely want to do one for every state for sure. Nice. Happy birthday on Saturday then. That's cool. So 21st birthday. Nice. Cool. Let's see. Okay, that's a good tip there, Urban Farmer. Is if you're adding electrical to your breaker box, make sure the breakers are the same make and model of the others, or it nullifies your home insurance. Good to know. Yeah, and don't do your own electrical. Get an electrician. You don't want to start a fire. Nah, but yeah, I got lucky. My dad does construction, so when it came time, when I was building all my stuff out, he just brought his electrician friend over. It's like, sweet, got it all good to go.
Oh yeah,
we
your
definitely
dad.
get the power.
Your dad helped a lot with the dispensary stuff, right?
Yeah. So that's I used to be part of a dispensary. Was like a grower. We were running, or I was running like multiple warehouses for them. That's when I used to grow like commercially. But it was here in Colorado called Total Health Concepts. It's no longer around. But basically, yeah, my dad was a big partner in that, which is pretty funny. So he's actually the one who helped me kind of get growing in the first, or not help me, but help me get a bigger garden and better equipment when we first did that. So that was pretty fun.
Totally makes sense, right? Because farming's been a family business since ever.
Right, yeah. Yeah, for sure. But that was actually a funny story. But cool, cool. No, I don't own a dispensary now. I just have a like that garden is just a personal garden. Like me and my fiance or whatever, we just have that we grow for our medical and our recreational plants. I think last time we only had 14 plants that we flowered out. They just get like really big, you know.
Very cool. But that's usually, or that's now going to be like the major focus to do all your teaching for School of Hard Nugs, though, right?
That's yeah, that's what we're doing, and you know, so I can have stuff to smoke.
Of course. Yeah. You sound like your story about your rod and your spine that you had to have there almost sounds like some of the people that I've been interviewing before about like marketing stuff. They're always like, well, when I needed a new tool, I went out and just made it because it didn't exist. And it sounds like you did pretty much the same thing. You're like, you know what? I'm going to grow this so I can sell it, but I need it for myself first. You know,
Right,
very
right. Well, it's, yeah, because
full
the laws
circle. You
were
know?
yeah, the laws were way different. Like when I first started, you used to be able to like it was crazy. You used to be able to buy patients from doctors. So like when the medical thing first went into effect, you were allowed to, you know, grow for each patient. So you could be a caregiver. So that's before we ever had a dispensary. We were caregivers, and we had a spot, and we had patients that we would. You wouldn't like buy the patient, but the doctor would write the, you know, hey, here's your medical card. Cool. By the way, do you need somebody to grow for you? Because there weren't dispensaries at the time, right?
Okay.
Somebody to grow for you. And they'd be like, well, this person's in your area, and they would like pass your name on. So they would be like, all right, you know, get a hold of this guy. He can grow your plants for you. And then they would sign it over to me. We'd pay the doctor like $150 or something like that. And so he'd get a referral fee, and we would grow for those patients. Right. And, you know, we'd give them like free stuff when they signed up with us or whatever. So once a week we'd go deliver a quarter or whatever. We got to grow their plants and, you know, all that. And, yeah, so when the dispensaries first started opening up, we were caregivers and we had excess, right? And so you were allowed to sell the excess to other patients as well. It's kind of weird. Or sorry, when the dispensaries opened up, you were allowed to sell your excess that your patients didn't use to the dispensaries. So you would just like go to these places with like quarter pounds in your backpack, like and go sell quarter pounds to these dispensaries. They just give you cash.
Man, that's
It was,
awesome.
dude, it was weird. And like when we had a dispensary, we called them backpackers because they did the exact same thing. They'd like come around and show you all their samples. They're like, hey, check this jar out. Do you guys want to buy this? And we're like, well, that one smells good. Like, and we'd end up, you know, just buying from like random people that came in. You had to just like take their tax ID or their social security number and like, you know, W-9 them. It was the weirdest thing. Or 1099, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Dude, it was really weird back in the day. So
Looks like we got another from Meathead Gymnasium asking, what are your thoughts on advanced newts?
advanced
Maybe
nutrients.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really use them. I use their pH up and pH down. Like I've used, I don't know. They have a lot of additives, which is kind of weird. I don't like a lot of lines with a lot of additives. I used to run like Botanicare Pure Blend Pro. You know, had some organic components into that. Not a ton of things you got to add to it, but I like to keep my recipes simple. And they seem like they overcomplicate everything. I don't know. I've personally never used them, but I also researched them. I was like, I don't know. Not my personal favorite. Like my buddy, the nutrients we run now, my friend actually he just started up the company not too long ago. They'll be hitting some stores sometime pretty soon. We're actually probably going to be putting them in our store as well. But it's called Uncle Wiggy's. He's been making those, and I've been running those for the past probably like 2.5 years, just doing testing for him. Be rolling those out. Sometimes you actually got to hit him up about that because I know he just got all his licensing, and apparently to sell nutrients you have to be licensed in whatever specific states and things like that. But what time is it? Cool. Well, I think I got to wrap this up.
Yeah, I'd actually, real quick, yeah. Justin. Oh, I think there's a delay. All right, I'm just going to go. So I want to ask the live viewers, all of the comments are going to disappear once the live broadcast is over. So I want to ask you a big favor. If you can help us by dropping links in comments after we end, right? So after this live broadcast, come back, like refresh the video a couple of times, then write a comment with your with like the links that we can share, like to the different laws and things like that. That would be a big help to us. And then I'll put it all together in the description, so it can be like one mega table of contents for like resources and shit like that. Does that make sense, everybody? Can you help us out? Because all of your comments have been great, but they're going to disappear. So we just need your help to replace them. Cool. That was it. That's all I want to say.
Sweet. Cool. Well, yeah, thanks for coming out, everyone. And I'll be doing some more of these. Yeah, but I just got to run on this one. But yeah, we'll jump on a few more. Yeah, I mean, if everybody was into that, I just want to, yeah, if you're into it, let me know. We'll definitely do more of them. But no, it was helpful to have you here, Zane, as well. Just kind of like bouncing ideas off, moderating.
I had a great time. I'm going to be honest with everybody. I don't know shit about any of this, so I'm having a great time. I'm learning a lot, but treat me like I don't know anything. Because I'm a total noob, but I want to learn more. So if it's been of a help, I'm so happy to be here for more if you're into it.
Sweet. Cool. All right, guys. Well, and girls, everybody, later. Have a good one.
See you.